Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Darrell Brooks saga. It's a new day, it's the fourth day, and I love new days because you know that Darrell has had time to go back to his coach, his guru, who already saw all the trial and all that he did, and now that he gets to regroup, he's gonna be like, you know what, you need to, you're doing great, boy. You just need to press into subject matter jurisdiction more. You gotta say this, you gotta say that. So let's see what new tactics await for us in this new day. That's good, right? Oh, and of course, thank you for subscribing. Subscribe if you wanna continue doing more. Gonna do more videos. Like I put one last night, I'm gonna put one today, and I'm going to start a new series. So be sure to subscribe to know when that's coming. All right, let's go into it.
Court will call State of Wisconsin versus Darrell E. Brooks, case number 21 CF 1848. May I have the appearances, please?
Yes, good morning, Judge Sue Apper, Leslie Basie, and Zach Witchow appearing for the state of Wisconsin.
Good morning, sir. Please state your name for the record.
I'm here as a third-party intervener in that matter, appearing as authorized representative for my client. I accept for value and return for value all of the charging instruments in this matter and make my exemption available for discharge of all obligations and charges connected with this case. I do not dispute any of the facts in these charging instruments, and I do not consent to or agree to being called that name, Your Honor.
All right, the record should reflect that the individual known to this court as Darrell Brooks is appearing in person in custody. He is also in civilian or street clothing, in a suit and tie, also wearing a mask. I have a question, sir, because you had indicated there was this United States v. Lopez. I had looked up a case. I don't know if it's the one that you were referring to. I asked you if it was from 1995. You thought it was. Have you been able to look through your documents to tell me which United States versus Lopez you were referring?
I have not, but I also cited Hagens versus Levine as well, 415 U.S. 533, or I think you may have.
That's not what she asked.
I was able to find Hagens versus Levine and Malo versus United States. I also found a case that is captioned United States versus Lopez. It had to do with in part with the
Jurisdiction?
No, it had to do with a provision in the federal statutes regarding the gun safe free zone and whether that was constitutional or not.
My understanding of that particular case was dealing with the specifics of subject matter and personal jurisdiction, which is why it was brought up for the record, which is something that I have been doing adamantly, is asking for the court to provide verified proof of jurisdiction, which I have not been provided with as of yet.
What I think he does when researching these cases is that he just goes to Lexis, which is the law database, and he types jurisdiction, and whatever he finds, that's what he brings to the court. He doesn't even read it.
Court's not required to do that, sir. I understand what your objection is. It's been noted for the record multiple times.
Many times.
And the previous rulings of the court stand. I see no reason to revisit those issues, even if I were to take your reference to these cases as a request to reconsider based on a new legal argument. The cases that I reviewed don't support that. I do want to give the state an opportunity to at least make a record as to their position, and then I'll give you the last word if you want to make a legal argument to the contrary.
I do.
I did review the U.S. versus Lopez, the Lopez case that you cited at 514 U.S. 549. As the court already indicated, it deals with the Gun-Free School Zone Act, which is a federal offense. The court found that Congress exceeded its authority under the Commerce Clause. I don't find any analogy between that case and this case. With regard to Malo versus United States, this was a case involving an accident that the plaintiff had with an employee of the U.S. Postal Service who was driving a U.S. postal truck, and the issue became whether or not there was a valid claim against the U.S. Postal Service as a result of a claim filed against the employee. Again, not a case that is on point with any issue that's been raised in this case. And finally, Hagens versus Levine. It was a case in which a New York, state of New York regulation addressed New York's ability to recoup some payments from AFDC, I believe. That violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. The court did find that the district court did have jurisdiction to hear the plaintiff's claim. Again, I did not find any verbiage from any of these three cases that would raise any type of argument in this case that this court does not have jurisdiction to hear this case.
There you go. There you go. A real lawyer with years of experience just look at those cases and he was like, no, I don't see nothing. The judge, which I think she's a doctor in law or maybe a master, she has a high grade of law knowledge, says that she doesn't see anything. Let's see what our boys say.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks. Your response.
Yeah, I respectfully object to that. It's clear
there's nothing to object.
In both of those cases that ultimately those cases were called correct by the Supreme Court, in that both cases ended up being voided because there was no jurisdiction. Same thing in this case. How it applies is this court has yet to prove that it has jurisdiction. It has not been proven. There's been no certified document paperwork. There's been no proof. There's been no response to the demand for the statement of particulars. There's been no response to we haven't even established that the plaintiff is a living human being and not an entity. There's so many things that have yet to even be proven. And again, if both cases that were just cited were voided by the Supreme Court for lack of jurisdiction, how is this case any different?
Let's go. Let's hear the response.
Thank you for your arguments, sir. First of all, the Hagens and the Malo decisions, or Malo, these were civil lawsuits. They weren't criminal cases at all. The Lopez decision, while a criminal case, dealt with a federal law and whether the district court had jurisdiction. In Lopez, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down a federal statute that had made an offense criminal, and because of that, there was no jurisdiction. There have been no similar arguments made in this case at all. The arguments that you raise related to the Bill of Particulars, related to those types of issues have all been debunked throughout the ages in the courts of the United States of America. This court will deny your request to dismiss, deny your request for the demand for particulars, even going back to one of the filings from the 3rd dealing with your demand for a verified statement, your notice of special appearance. All of those things have been noted on the record, but to the extent that the court needs to respond to any of those, once again, your demands and requests and objections are either overruled or denied, as the case may be.
Your Honor, may I respectfully request a legal reconsideration for your ruling?
No, I just went through my reasoning,
yeah,
sir.
She just
so
said it.
Without you meeting the standard under a motion for reconsideration under Section 806.07, that request is summarily denied without any further argument. All right, with that...
For the record, may I request a legal or factual basis for your ruling, as you just cited, Your Honor?
I just provided the legal basis, sir.
You just cited a case law from United States versus Venable, correct?
My reasoning stands. The record before you and on the record speaks for itself. I'm not going to address this any further. Your objections are noted.
Respectfully, Your Honor, may I ask for a written judicial finding of facts and conclusion of law on this matter?
You may request. That request is denied.
For the record, may I respectfully move for an interlocutory declaratory appeal on this matter, Your Honor?
That is not an issue this court would address. That would be for an appellate court, sir.
For the record, may I move to stay these proceedings until this instant matter is adjudicated by a court of competent jurisdiction?
That request is denied. This is a court of competent jurisdiction.
Based on what law or fact, Your Honor?
I think this is the first time that he brings that paper. Like, he doesn't even listen to what she's saying. He just goes to the next item.
All right, Mr. Brooks, your objections are noted. I want to keep moving forward today.
May I respectfully object to that, Your Honor, based on the fact that you cited something that was a federal law, and then the cases that you went over in the challenge of jurisdiction were all dealing with federal guidelines.
This court's not going to explain the law to you, sir. I've cited the law, but I just direct you to those decisions. I believe they speak for themselves, and your request for any further articulation by this court as to the basis for the court's decision is denied.
May I respectfully object, Your Honor, and still ask for verified proof?
It's been denied.
Mr. Brooks, I've already addressed that. The request is denied. All right, moving on. Can the state... I'm moving on, Mr. Brooks. Thank you. Your objections are noted. Attorney Opper, I'd like to address the issue...
Object, Your Honor.
Your objections noted. I would like to address the issue of the subpoenas that were turned over to the state. If you could just make a record on that.
Yes, thank you. We have received the subpoenas that were provided by Mr. Brooks. I believe there were 12 in total. We are endeavoring to have all the individuals properly served, and we will assist in arranging their appearance here in the courtroom at the appropriate time, with the exception of that one individual who we believe has relocated to the state of Texas. There are no other concerns that the state has at this point in getting those subpoenas served and getting these people here. I do want to advise the court that one of the witnesses on Mr. Brooks' subpoena list does need a Spanish interpreter.
Hey,
and that also reminds me to update the court on our progress in that regard.
There's a possibility that they will need an interpreter. If that's the situation, then I'm going to require that Mr. Marquez be produced at that point for questioning. You'll be questioning him first, since it would be your witness, but I want to make wise use of our resources. Mr. Brooks, any questions about what I've advised you about the interpreter?
I want to state for the record that I object to being called that name. I'm a living and breathing human being.
Did you hear me advise you about the interpreter and making arrangements and potentially calling your witness out of order because of that?
So that should be the first witness called?
It would be out of order. It would still be during the state's case in chief, but if we have the interpreter here because they need it, because they're not clear yet if they need that interpreter or not. If they don't call the interpreter and the interpreter's not here and we haven't made arrangements, then I'm going to work with my staff and the clerk's office to make sure we have an interpreter during your case. You'll just need to tell me where in the 12 you want to call that person so I can better schedule.
In the 13.
Well, you have 13, but one's an out of state, so I'm told. But all right, very good. All right, anything else from the state then?
No, that was it for today, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Brooks, anything other than what we've already talked about?
Yeah,
of course.
I don't know if the clerk received 2 ICF forms that I submitted.
I don't know if anything. I can check my electronic inbox. Let me just do that real quick and see if there's anything there.
Well, one of the ICFs we just addressed, that would be the one that I filled out last night. coming back from the proceedings yesterday. We just addressed that. That was dealing with the subpoenas.
Okay. All right, I don't see it. I'll make sure that my staff knows to look for it, and when we get it, it'll be uploaded, and then we can address it at a break.
The other one was dealing with
Just say that on a break.
asking for my court docket sheet.
What do you mean by that, sir?
I would like a certified copy of my court docket sheet.
Certified.
I need to know what you mean by that, sir. There's many documents in the record. There are docket entries that are part of the electronic file.
Is the entire every court proceeding, is that part of the electronic?
He doesn't even know what
Is it
he's
a
asking
recording
for.
of the proceedings?
No,
or a
no, no.
record?
I want the actual docket sheet from every court proceeding that I've had in dealing with this matter.
Well, you'll have to address that to the clerk of court.
I did. I
Okay,
sent
so
the
then
IC.
that's why it didn't come to me and I wouldn't seen it. I'm not the custodian of the record. It's the clerk of court under the statute. So
Was it received?
I
How would
don't
she know?
but I can find out. And on a break, we can advise. I'll direct Teresa to find out from the clerk of court if she received that.
How old is Adelia?
She's 10 now. She was 9 at the time.
Okay. She was walking with you with Burris Logistics?
Yes. As I turned, all I seen was the hood of a red vehicle, and I hit the red vehicle and rolled down to the side and landed directly between the Burris Logistics float and the red vehicle, and I seen the tire go directly in front of my face.
Okay.
After I realized what just happened, I jumped up and took off running to go find her. And I seen her in the middle of the road, which I don't know how she got to that position from where I seen her last.
We are going to play with audio
I can't imagine that.
at normal speed from the beginning until about the 26-second mark.
And then this guy looks at it. Oh.
And let's go at about 50% speed.
Objection was the relevance of showing the video to us.
Overruled.
Grounds.
It's relevant.
Grounds.
She already told you the grounds.
And we'll play from the beginning. What did we see you doing at the end of the video there?
Expressionless.
I was laying between the vehicles.
Did you get up at some point?
Yes,
Okay. And then,
ran directly to my daughter.
The vehicle that struck you, do you recall seeing a driver?
No, I seen the red hood of the vehicle. That's all I seen.
What hit me?
So you didn't see the driver or anybody in the vehicle?
No, again, I just seen the red hood as it ran into me.
No license plates or?
Nope.
She's so uncomfortable. I hate that she's
You recall how fast the vehicle might have been traveling when you were struck?
when you were struck.
Had been going at decent speed. As I said before, I did see the rear tire going past my face, and it all happened extremely fast.
So you don't recall?
With the chaos that was going around that day, no, I do not remember exactly.
And you stated that after you were struck, you got up and ran to your daughter, correct?
Of
Yes.
course.
And you were able to do that with your leg injury?
Yes, I guess that would be the
The,
adrenaline.
the nerve of this guy. Just be like, you were injured. I injured you. Would you still be able to run? Didn't I hit you hard enough?
Going through your body at that moment in time, it did give me the strength to run to my daughter.
Good for you.
So when was it that you knew that you had the, I think you said knee injury?
Yes, knee and hand.
When did that pain in your leg set in?
It was immediately.
But you were still able to get up and run?
Yeah.
Yes.
Were you able to see what the vehicle did after you were struck?
No, my only attention at that point in time was to find my daughter and attend to my daughter.
So you didn't see what, the route that the vehicle traveled or anything after that?
I seen the aftermath after it went through. That was it.
Do you recall any reports coming over any radios by law enforcement?
I do not recall that. The only thing I heard after we were hit was shots fired.
So you did hear shots fired. Did that come
I don't know if it was directly from a cop or if it was people running.
Did you hear the shots?
I did not.
So after you were struck, it would be fair to say that it got louder than what it was before.
After, in the middle of the complete chaos, yes.
Yes. Monster.
With all the noise and chaos going on, do you think it would have been hard for you to hear a horn honking?
I did not hear a horn.
Would it have been hard? The question was, would it have been hard for you to hear it?
Before it got to us or after?
After it became chaotic.
I was not listening for a horn after we had already been hit by the vehicle.
So it'd be fair to say you wouldn't be able to recall.
I would not be able to recall that.
Still don't know why he does this. License plates.
Did you file any claim in this incident?
What do you mean by claim?
Plain.
Did you file a report as an injured party in this matter?
Yes.
Of course.
So it would be fair to say that you identify yourself as an injured party?
I was injured by the circumstances that day, yes.
She just said you hit her.
Have you seen or read a complaint in this matter?
What do you mean by that?
Have you seen a written complaint or read a written complaint in this matter? Objection. Grounds.
Doesn't clarify.
Mr. Brooks, are you referring to the criminal complaint in this case or something else?
I'm referring to something else, the complaint.
Well, then I'll sustain the objection. As to the form of the question, it's vague.
May I respectfully ask on what grounds, Your Honor?
It's
She just
vague.
told you.
Next question, or rephrase.
Do you know of any complaint being filed in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Grounds.
As to the form of the question.
It's vague. Be more specific.
Were you aware that it may be possible that you could give testimony in this matter?
Yes, I was aware of that.
Did you seek to give testimony in this matter?
I was okay with doing so.
And who were you informed by?
The district attorney's office.
Was that in form of a subpoena or was it a conversation? Or?
Well, at first it was knowing that there was a possibility and then the subpoena.
So it'd be fair to say that you did have a conversation
Conversation?
with the district attorney's office.
Yes.
Did they ever inform you of who the plaintiff was in this matter?
Objection. Relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Here we go with that.
Are you aware of any plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Have you ever talked to the plaintiff in this matter? Ever seen the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevance.
Sustained under 90611. Mr.
Move on.
Brooks, you need to move on to a new topic or I will close the cross-exam.
I will move on. It has to be some type of ground stated other than
No, they
relevancy
don't.
or
That's the grounds.
or anything like that. The real ground should be put on record, Your Honor.
You know that's
we all
new.
deserve to know. The jury deserves.
That's new, and I think the whole jury deserves to know it's new too. Like he's getting new information. This is what I say. I like this. He has new moves.
No.
It's not relevant. Move on.
And they don't work.
So are you bringing this claim against the accused defendant in this matter?
Objection, vague.
Grounds.
Sustained.
On what grounds, Your Honor?
It's vague. That's the form of the question.
Have you seek to receive any recovered damages or anything?
Yeah,
in the matter?
that's also a new one.
The only thing that we got was help to pay for our medical bills.
Yeah, what he's trying to do now is that they seek to testify in order to get money. He's trying to question their credibility because of that.
As that was something that was completely unexpected
Which is
from
horrible.
a Christmas parade.
Is that through the state of Wisconsin?
It was through, I forgot the name of what it was.
Are you listed as a plaintiff in this matter?
Am I listed as a plaintiff in this
Are
matter?
you the plaintiff? Did you file the claim?
Objection,
That's a
relevant.
compound question. Sustained as to the form of the question. Mr. Brooks?
Did you file a claim?
90611. Move on. You've already asked about whether she filed a report. Move on.
Move on.
Do you see the state of Wisconsin present in the court?
Oh my god.
Objection,
Grounds.
relevant.
Sustained under 90611. I warned you to avoid that topic or I would cease cross-exam, so I'll give you one more opportunity to ask a different line of questioning.
Just let him be over.
Do you recall when you gave your interview to law enforcement?
It was a few days after.
Would it be fair to say it was a few days or a week or so?
I don't actually remember the exact time.
A week is a few
Do you
days.
recall if it was on November 30 of 2021?
I don't remember the exact date.
It's been a year.
Can you recall why it took a little bit for you to be interviewed by law enforcement?
How would she know?
I'm guessing because of how many people were injured throughout this parade. It did take a while to get around to everybody.
Did you seek to be interviewed in any way?
You already asked this.
I don't think I seeked, but I did inform them that I was injured, as
But
well
you-
as my daughter.
But you don't recall calling any law enforcement or attempting to file a report?
Law enforcement that was there at the parade took people's name and it all ended up going to them.
Do you recall stating that you did not see what happened to your daughter?
I do recall that. I still to this day don't know directly what happened to my daughter. I just know that she was hit by the red vehicle as I was laying on the ground after I was hit.
So it would be fair to say if you didn't see what actually happened to your daughter, you didn't see what happened to anyone else.
What?
Grounds.
Characterization of the
Grounds.
events.
This is the same thing that about his hair. Remember when she asked the officer if she see him shave his head? Like, this is context, dude.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
Would it be fair to say that it was difficult to see if anyone else was struck?
From the position I was in, I seen a tire going in front of me, so no, I did not see directly anywhere besides the tire going in front of my face.
So it would be fair to say that you didn't see anyone get struck besides yourself.
Right.
It would be kind of difficult to see beyond that.
Can I just clarify, Ms. Grabo? The last time you saw your daughter before you got struck, where was she?
Objection. Irrelevant.
Overruled.
She was walking over, or she came over by me to get more candy to pass out, and she was walking off to the sidewalk to hand out more candy.
Sidewalk on which side of the Burris float?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
That would be to the driver's side so to the left.
Okay. And then you got struck. And where's the next place that you saw Adelia?
I seen Adelia.
Overruled.
She didn't see anything.
It's not hearsay, Mr. Brooks.
That's the definition of hearsay.
Mr. Brooks, the objection is noted. It's overruled.
On what grounds, Your Honor?
It's not hearsay.
I direct your attention to section 90801, sir. You may answer the question.
After I got up, I found my daughter in the middle of the road. She was no longer by the sidewalk.
Where was she in relation to the Burris, the truck that was pulling the float?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
On what grounds?
It's not hearsay.
Direct your attention to 90801, sir. It's not hearsay. Go ahead, you may answer.
She was towards the driver's side, the front end of the vehicle. So she was more towards the front of the vehicle.
You testified that after you were struck, the noise in the area increased. It got louder. You were
Yes.
saying that? And so, as a result of that increase in noise, you weren't listening for a horn?
No,
Okay. What about before you got struck? Did you hear the sound of a horn?
I did not.
Hearsay.
It's not hearsay.
Hearsay.
Overruled. Would you just repeat your answer, please?
I did not hear a horn.
Thank you.
Are you familiar with the program, the Waukesha Blazers Youth Baseball Program?
Yes,
Okay. Okay, we're gonna continue this in the next episode. But thank you for watching. This is gonna be a lot more shenanigans in this case as this day continues because, like you saw right now, we have new tactics. We have new questions for the witnesses. He's gonna see if they got money to testify and all that good stuff. So give it a like if you make it this far. Share it with your friends because it's gonna get wild. All right, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.